Post-editing auto here, I ended up having a little more footage than I was expecting. I will say I have a lot of pictures, but sadly none of them are drone shots, so you won't be seeing any of those kind of shots, but definitely a lot of just either walking around or simply looking at the beautiful scenery that I didn't get to say in the video, but hiked up and walked around myself. Some of them was from the bus that I was taking or the train, being able to share some video of that. But aside from that, a lot of these were taken literally with my phone. So the picturesque quality may or may not look good. And some of the stuff in the beginning very well shows that it is literally recorded on a phone. So if anything, you won't be seeing any drone shots. I'm terribly sorry, but if I somehow end up doing something and going around different places, I will see about getting something like a drone maybe next time. But for now, I'll just be doing a lot of video with my phone. But here is the person known as me ranting and talking about my trip in Norway. Hey everyone, back from the brink of death and deciding to make a dado bit. I have recently taken a lovely solo trip to Norway, and I'd like to be able to talk about it. I wanted to on my podcast channel. I ended up not doing that, so I'm deciding to make it here. So, first little thing about it was I didn't really plan it to be a solo trip. I planned to actually go there and wanting to really go and live over there, but after doing a little bit more research on how visas and all this stuff worked, I was a little stumped, so I was like, alright, let's just go ahead and visit the country, see how everything is. Because I thought in my head, hey, this would be a great idea to go. No, it is not. It is not a great idea to just go and wing it. Because after that initial step of hearing about that, I ended up only really, in technical aspect, had a month to go around and buy different like ways of transportation around the country as well as different hotels to figure out where I wanted to go. All of it was impromptu, but I will say going throughout all of these different places did not cease to surprise me. So I'll at least go ahead and try to get into it as best as I possibly can while everything I have in the background is rolling. Because me not being content pilled, I am just going to show whatever pictures or any video that I ended up deciding to take based on where I was. I'll try and put where I was at in certain ones and try to organize it that way. But if I can't, then I'm just going to put all of them as one sort of video, call it a day. And yeah, I just want you to at least see a bit of my adventure around there. But I'll tell you a bit of a story of what had happened, and I'm probably not going to go and show around a lot of these of me talking about it because I'm pretty sure 9/10 of them you can't hear me or it sounds poor. But starting out going, I was taking my flight to Nashville and or from Nashville to Toronto. I was told to check my bag. I was like, okay, sure, why not? But is it going to be with me? And they said, yes, it's going to go to your final destination. Keep that in mind, by the way, because my dumbass kind of fell for it. So I literally went ahead, just kept going through Toronto, went to Edinburgh, and then went to Oslo, which was the place that was supposed to be my final destination. I go ahead and I check the little carousel. No luggage. I waited about maybe 5 minutes to see if any more showed up. I did not see my luggage pop out. So I had to go to the help desk. And of course, first I had to talk to my mom, be like, hey, turns out Canada lied to me. They did not get my luggage to its final destination. Turned out they only made it go to Toronto. And I figured that was where it was, considering I was like, yeah, there's no way that it would have been past it. So I went ahead, went to the help desk, told them about the luggage, made sure everything was good. And of course, they found it, made sure to take it over to Norway. But the thing was, they would have taken it to the Oslo airport first, but apparently they wanted to take it to Bergen. And I was like, no, I'm going to be gone by the 5th. So I told them, sure, if you're able to get it there in time, but if it's not going to be there in time, I am not going to be able to get it. And literally the morning of, I literally had left Bergen. And the airport called me and I was like, no, I'm not going to be over there. Please take it to Oslo. So they took it to Oslo. Everything was good. I got my bag by the 15th and I had some good clothes. In the meantime, I had to go around to different stores. Excuse me. I had to go to different stores and buy some extra clothes. Because I, being the dumbass that I was, should have at least taken a look and said, hey, I could probably doubt what Canada was saying, and they'd probably just keep it in Canada. Or put it in a carousel in Canada. Because I had an 8-hour layover. I literally had so much time to figure that out. But instead, I chose to sit before security to even do anything. So I was like, well, dang. Kind of retrospect, it was on me. So yeah, that's one story of many. But I'll try and keep other bits of it brief. I really got to get over there, talk to a lot of really cool people, saw some really cool stuff, hiked a lot of cool trails, and absolutely got to buy some cool souvenirs. One of them being a Norwegian flag, a couple of them being shot glasses, and 3 t-shirts, a pair of pants, or well, 3 pairs, I would say, of pants. And one of them was like a Scandinavian Explorer, it was like a whole thing at a souvenir shop. But otherwise, very, very cool stuff. I was really, really happy to be able to go around and actually explore the country and be able to say a few things in Norwegian, kind of talk a little bit. It wasn't even that good, but I was able to at least kind of speak in some capacity to them and kind of understand and say yes, no, thank you, and some other certain stuff. I mean, it's not really a part of a conversation. It's literally just to get by, I guess. But it was very, very nice to be able to just talk to certain people and be able to kind of do that. Although I was definitely a little nervous. It wasn't too bad, and everyone was very much friendly over there. Being able to at least be very patient with how I was. But I was very, very happy, to say the least, in being able to go over there. And also meeting up with the Norse Society as well. There's some people from from Norwegian with Tor, which I may end up putting like in the description, because that was how I saw him, was kind of through TikTok. I kind of don't have TikTok, but I could probably find him and just set it up in my description. But he's a really cool dude. He does have a lot of different like Norwegian stuff going on. He's got like how to say a few things in Norwegian. He's got a few different quizzes and stuff, and occasionally he will put out different class signups, so you'd be able to go pay to be in, like, for example, Norse Society or whichever other thing that he has going on, that you'd be able to go and take some sort of class and whatnot with him, and he'll teach you Norwegian. And I would say it was definitely nice of an experience to be able to especially go and meet a whole bunch of people from literally around the world that have gone together to learn Norwegian or to even get to live there, which hearing all those experiences too was just as amazing just to hear about it. It just makes me pumped to want to try and actually do something to go to Norway again. But instead of to tour, to actually go and live and work over there, I just have to do a lot more research myself in actually trying to find a job first and make sure that I talk with people before I end up moving there. Because I don't think I'm going to have any hope or prayer of being able to just live over there with literally anything but a job. So, if anything, that goes to show this was definitely by far the most amazing trip I think I've been on in, I would say, years. Because last trip I had outside of the United States was literally in middle school. So I never really got to experience true, I guess, tourism outside of the US. I did get to go into a couple different places inside the US. I got to visit a couple of friends from VR chat, one being in like a state literally right next to me, and then another all the way across to the other side of the United States, which was just insane to me as well. But that's all for another time. But I would say thank you for watching. I don't really have much to be able to say, because if I did, I would probably be gushing a lot more about this country and just how beautiful it is, and I don't have enough footage to be able to do that. And otherwise, that's pretty much everything I have to say. If there's anything more that you want to ask me about of my trip, I would be more than glad to talk about it. I definitely have a lot of other stories though, but I will definitely talk about those at some point later or whenever they come up in conversation. But I just wanted to at least put out there and say, hey, I am alive and I went on a solo trip that I wasn't expecting to be a solo trip entirely, aside from, you know, going and just wanting to live in a country, but instead actually touring around and seeing just how beautiful it is. But yeah, thank you for watching. I will see you all, I would say, next time whenever I decide to upload again. But yeah, that's it.